Last time when we left off, the party had just, had a few interesting encounters at the Abbey of St. Markovia in the village of Kresk. After spending one night there in the old hospital wing of the Abbey, there's really not any other way to say it. Ron died. And due to a fortunate scroll that happened to be in Rictavio's possession, he was able to be brought back, but noticed that he didn't have a shadow. After consulting with the abbot and, eventually meeting Esmeralda, who is the Vistani woman that they had been looking for in their effort to defeat Strahd, the evil vampire overlord of Barovia. They eventually rallied and sort of went back to the hospital wing with a bit more of a concrete plan and preparation after taking out the remainder of the shadowy creatures that had initially killed Ron. He regained his shadow, but not before, pretty much immediately upon his resurrection, dealing with this pervasive sense of paranoia. But everyone being at least physically intact, the group decided to move on toward the completion of their end goal, which is putting an end to Strahd and his control over Barovia. So it sounded last time as you guys were embarking as though you were heading for either the mansion, again, Argynvostholt, or the tower on the lake where, Rictavio and Esmeralda both seem to be somewhat familiar.
I'm fine with either. Probably just go to whatever's closest.
Well, I say if the tower's... Oh no, the tower's way out from us.
The tower is a bit further. Actually, let me pull you back over to the map. So for reference, the tower is on Lake Baratok. And, actually the tower is a bit closer. I forgot about that little wooded shortcut. And Argynvostholt is down here.
Oh, the lake name is blurred out.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Can you...
Tower is there.
Okay. Where's the
mansion
other place?
is there.
Okay.
Let me see if I can show you the name of the lake. That's interesting that they would choose that up.
And Village of Barovia.
Oh yeah, that's all I see.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see Kresk. Okay.
So yeah, those seem to be your two options.
And we're down...
Where are we?
Here?
That's the winery.
Oh.
The Abbey is just up a cliffside from Kresk.
Okay. We haven't encountered this, whatever this is, right?
Well, I guess I can unhide that one too. That's just the one of many labels for the Svalak Woods.
Ah.
Where?
upper left.
Oh,
The phallic woods. If you want to label this is the winery. Just label it wine. You got good handwriting.
What?
I said you got better handwriting than I do, so. Or
Mouse
work.
rating?
Yeah.
Mouse writing.
You game more. You should have better control of a mouse than I do.
Nope.
No, he just kind of flails at the computer and hopes it does what he wants it to do.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, I get mad. Anyway.
It's the healer's fault, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always. Be careful, though.
Leg.
Yeah, be careful though. You're the closest thing they have to a healer right now, Becca.
Well, I have heals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had heels.
So anyway, being in Krusk,
Let's go to the
what
tower.
would your next?
It's
Okay.
closer. And they said they've stayed a few nights in the tower, haven't they?
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, as you're kind of discussing amongst yourselves, and I would assume you're not really making any effort to hide this from your traveling companions, right?
Oh, no.
You know, Esmeralda and Rictavio. Yeah, this is actually a place that Rictavio has used as kind of a base of operations for a while. Kind of off and on. You know, he is hesitant to lay down roots anywhere, but he does kind of explain to you that this has been one of the places that he tends to come back to every now and then.
Shit, yeah, let's go with tower
Okay.
On the way there, I want to whittle Dick into a staff.
Okay. Now, let's see. As you're doing that, I'd say you probably get, I don't know, call it 2 or 3 hours in.
Alright.
Let's say 3. I'll be generous.
Yay.
And so you carry on through the woods. I'm assuming everybody's just finding a way to kind of pile on the wagon.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So then you make your way along this nearly choked out road by the forest that just seems to pervasively overgrow everything, and eventually cross the bridge over the Raven River, where you can see kind of in the distance where it sort of opens up into the lake to which you're headed. Keep going for a little longer before veering off into this sort of partially hidden forest trail. And after traveling that for nearly a mile, the trees finally begin to give way, and you can see in front of you this tower. And sitting there, kind of on the this mountain lake that you're now overlooking, you can see the tower sticking up out of the thick fog that's kind of settled over the top of the water. The trail you've been following seems to lead directly up to a seemingly man-made causeway kind of thing that bridges what looks to have been an island at one point with the rest of the land. And on that island, you see clearly the tower, but then at the foot of it, there's also a barrel-topped wagon. Seems to be spattered with mud.
Rictavio, do you recognize that?
Let's see. He kind of pushes his spectacles up onto his face and squints in the general direction of the wagon parked in front of the tower and says, no, it doesn't look familiar to me. And at this point, Esmeralda kind of leans forward and says, "Oh, yes, I left that here."
Oh, okay.
Why'd you leave a wagon here?
Well, I had to
Case you
travel
should need
light.
it.
Hello.
Hello?
Who is
So-
that after my secrets?
So, as this wagon now comes rolling out of the woods and kind of approaching this tower that Austin, your character, has been kind of scoping out, perhaps looking for either some help or shelter or something after wandering in these unfamiliar woods. You do see that there is a band of generally not so threatening looking people. Looks to be a couple humans, 3 of them actually. One stern but composed looking half orc, and one that you're not so sure about. Looks like some kind of pale skinned humanoid with black lines sort of spiderwebbing across what pale skin you can see.
Okay.
I would imagine you're probably kind of hiding out in the woods at this point, but if you would like, you can either make yourself known or keep an eye on them and see what you can see or what you would like to do.
I can approach him.
Okay. So, from everyone else's point of view, as you're all kind of discussing the wagon and everything, actually, everybody go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yep.
So, Yoan and Malkar, you notice a kind of squat figure come walking out of the woods. Austin, if you'd like to describe your character, what do they see?
Short dwarf, red hair,
Okay.
Male.
male. Yeah,
Beard or no beard?
long beard.
Gotta have the beard.
How old?
50.
Okay.
Younger dwarf.
All right.
How far is he from us?
I'd say he's probably about 50 feet off the road.
I'm just gonna keep working on my staff.
Melkar gives 0 fucks. Okay.
I'll yell out hello.
Who are you yelling at?
I point and say, "There's a dwarf coming out of the woods."
I squint in that direction. Is it behind that red tree?
Yes.
Hmm. You have really good eyes.
I think you have really poor eyes.
I squint in that direction again. I can't see it.
I would recognize that I haven't seen a lot of dwarves here.
Yeah, probably. I mean, kind of along the same lines that you haven't really seen a lot of your own kind here either.
Or orcs, for that matter.
Yeah.
I will hop down from the top of the wagon. And wait till the dwarf catches up to the wagon.
I walk over to the wagon.
Okay.
Do I see the dwarf now?
Yeah, I would say as the red tree starts to move and
Gotcha.
walk toward the wagon, you
Gotcha.
probably put it together at some point.
Okay. I'll just I'll poke my head out and say, "Oh, hi."
Hello.
What are you doing out in this part of the woods?
I got lost in the woods near my home and couldn't find my way back. And ended up here.
Where's your home?
Not sure where anymore.
He could very well be from, well, any of the dwarven settlements you guys have heard about, like Thogladar, for example.
Okay.
But-
How long have you been here?
I don't know where here is, so.
Well, was there like a fog thing?
Yes, I wandered through a little patch of fog and haven't been able to find my way back. You are the first people I've seen in a long time.
Well, I have unfortunate news for you.
Oh, what is that?
You're not in Kansas anymore.
At this point, I look over at Yo and, "Where's Kansas?"
You need to expand on your geography knowledge.
I've heard of Arkansas, but no Kansas.
I would say, you're on, like, a different plane of existence.
Right.
But yeah, so are we three, and I point, at Ron and Malkar. So Ron's the idiot that's been talking. Malkar's the pasty guy with black veins.
Alright.
And the other two are people we've met here. We've all been trying to get home,
Okay.
which I'm
So-
sure you also want to get to.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yeah, we got some hints, so hints. We have a prophecy that we're trying to work on.
Okay.
And I will just generally fill you in on the status of the current world you are in. No,
Okay.
There's a vampire. His name's Strahd. He's kind of controlling this area, and everyone is suffering from it.
Okay. There's a bad vampire, not a alright vampire. Okay.
Kidnapping women, making it rainy all the time. You know, things like that.
Oh, that doesn't sound very good.
So, yeah, we're trying to stop him. Get back.
Sounds good.
Supposedly this tower holds something that we need, so that's why we're here.
Okay. Well, let's go inside.
I turn towards Ron. What are we looking for?
Well, he might be a good idea. We could send him in. You gotta go into the chimney? area. It's where a place where fire is kept, I believe, is what it was. Look for a fortress inside a fortress in a place hidden behind fire.
No, I'll go in with you. See if we can find a chimney.
Okay. Do I walk over to the tower?
Into the tower!
Okay. So let's see here. So you kind of make your approach past the very ostentatious wagon that's parked out front. Even though it's kind of spattered with mud and dirt, it's visibly it visibly fits in with the kind of over-the-top gypsy-like themes you've seen with the Vistani thus far. Lots of rich purples and golds and things of that sort. But approaching the tower itself, you can see that the door to this tower looks to be made of iron, with no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol, a connected series of lines with 8 stick figures set around it. Carved into the area just above the door is a word, Kazan.
What does that say? I can read all writing.
Best you can tell, it's a name.
Oh,
I'm gonna turn towards, what's his name in Esmeralda?
Octavio.
Yeah, and ask them if they know what it means.
Okay. So, as you do that, they sort of look at one another and kind of shrug, and Esmeralda gets up, and you can see, well, she approaches the door, and as you kind of watch what she does, it looks as though she seems to imitate the stick figures on the door, one at a time. And as she finishes the last one, the trap sort of seems to click, and the hinge on this kind of trapdoor looking thing seems to kind of click, and the door itself swings open with a loud squeal, revealing the interior of the tower. Inside, you can see a small vestibule kind of area with a tattered curtain hanging there.
I'm gonna look behind the curtain.
Okay. So, as you venture in and just kind of nudge the curtain aside enough to get a look in, you can see a flagstone floor strewn with debris, a few old crates kind of set up, piled near the east wall. You can see a 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor, containing 4 pulleys attached to taut iron chains that stretch up through a similarly sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay statues.
And is there anything else? Is that behind the curtain?
Yeah, that's what's behind the curtain.
What else is not behind the curtain?
There's really not a whole lot in that portion. It's a very compact vestibule area. It really just seems to be there as kind of an entryway.
I lean back out the door and yell to Ron that there's no chimney.
In the meantime, I'm standing behind the new guy, using my awakened mind, just make a heavy breathing sound in his mind. Someone breathing down his neck.
Okay, so yeah, Austin, you hear this weird, creepy breathing sound seemingly behind you.
I turn to look. Is there somebody there? Or...
Malkar, are you just kind of keeping your distance and fucking with them, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so no, there's nobody there.
Okay. I must be hearing things.
All right. So what's next?
I mean, did Ron answer?
I don't know. Did you look hard enough?
Yes.
Maybe it's not here.
All right. So at this point, Rictavio kind of looks over and says, "All right. So you're looking for what? A fireplace or something of that sort? Is that what I'm to understand here?"
I think so. That's what it seems like, at least.
Well, the closest thing that I remember there being in the tower to a fireplace is a large iron stove, but can't say that there would be much behind the fire. As far as I can tell, the wall that the stove is situated against it's just large enough to be made of the single layer of stone bricks that I presume make up both walls, the interior and exterior of the tower. So, if you wish to find shelter for the evening or something to that effect, this may be a good place, but I'm not sure that you'll find anything out of the ordinary here.
Can I inspect the statues? Which I think are pretty out of the ordinary.
That's fair. Okay. So you're just, are you kind of just peeking through the curtain again, or are you getting up close?
I'm getting up close.
Okay. Just seem like 4 statues. They are kind of humanoid in form. They're a bit bigger than, maybe you or your companions. Game terms, that's probably a large statue rather than, medium, which is what you guys all qualify as. Yeah.
Are there any distinguishing features?
Let's see. Go ahead and make. Let's call this a perception check. Not really.
Is there an upstairs to this tower?
Are you wondering that to yourself or asking somebody?
I will say it aloud.
Okay. Octavio just sort of looks at you and says, well, it wouldn't be much of a tower if it was only one floor, would it?
So there are stairs that I can see?
Octavio's been kind of sitting out minding the horse. Not so much exploring the place with you, but if you'd like to inquire with him, he says, well, you could just use the elevator.
Well,
What's that?
there's an elevator?
Is that the pulley system?
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna try and use it.
Okay, how are you going to try and use it?
Like a pulley system.
I'm gonna go stand on the board and just kind of stand there staring expectantly at Yoan.
Okay, so as Yoan is kind of sizing up the pulley system, and Ron walks in, just strolls right in and steps on the, presumably the platform for the elevator, the clay statues all begin to move. And they just turn where they are, and each one of them grabs one of the chains and begins to pull it. And so, Ron, as you're standing there on the platform, the thing kind of jars into motion. It's certainly not a smooth ride, but little by little, maybe a foot or two at a time, you are elevated up to the next level of the tower.
Cool.
I thought we were fucked there for a second.
Is there any way for me to go up after him? Or is it like only one person?
It seems, at least until the platform comes back down, there's not really any way up.
Can he let the platform come down?
I'm riding it all the way up and all the way back down.
Oh, that's what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay. So, you get elevated up to the second floor. Looking around, you can see a mostly empty room. Lots of dust and cobwebs. Wooden floor. Mostly rotted and partially collapsed. And you keep chugging along 1 or 2 feet by 1 or 2 feet. Chains just kind of rattling, and you can hear the squealing of old metal components just grinding against one another. Eventually you make it up to a third floor of the tower. You can see this is another rough-looking room. Once again, time and the elements have really torn it up, leaving a pretty sizable gash in the northwest wall. And you can see pretty advanced stages of like a slimy black mildew on the walls.
Oh, lovely.
The wooden floor in this room is also rotted out, probably even more so than the previous level, and has just begun falling away in places. But you keep going.
Yep.
So as you keep chugging along up the tower, you reach the 4th floor. Unlike all the previous levels, this one actually shows some signs of somewhat recent habitation. Although the place kind of still reeks of mold and mildew, it has a few more creature comforts, so to speak. Pretty cozy looking bed, desk with a matching chair, some bright tapestries hanging along the walls, and the large iron stove that Rictavio had mentioned. There's a nearly depleted stack of wood sitting next to the iron stove. Light is still able to kind of make its way in here from the outside, not through a big hole in the wall like downstairs, but through a series of arrow slits that have been kind of carved into this particular level's walls. There are a few windows on this floor as well, most of them dirty and dingy beyond really being able to see more than a dull glow of daylight. A few other things that kind of stand out to you in this room. There's a standing suit of armor and a wooden chest. You can see up above you the old wooden rafters kind of bend under the weight of the tower's roof, which has somehow remained intact up to this point. And sort of mounted to the rafters are the pulleys around which hang iron chains that support your elevator.
So this is the top level.
So it would seem.
I guess I'll step off and just kind of stand there and look around and make sure it goes down.
Okay. As you step off the platform, it stops rising, and the statues down below then kind of turn to look at Yoan, who I assume you're still standing there?
Yeah.
Okay. And after a brief pause, they begin to let the platform down again. And Yoan, you can hear it making its way back down to the ground floor. After a few seconds, probably not as long as the ascent, the platform is back right where it was when you found it. Ground floor, surrounded by statues and chains and such.
I will step on it to go up.
Is it big enough for two people to step on?
It would be cozy.
I'll just wait my turn.
Okay. Alright. And Yoan, you're riding this how far?
Until I see Ron.
Okay. So, up to the top you go. In the meantime, Ron, is there anything you'd like to do as far as poking around up top?
Yeah, there's the suit armor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm poking around at that.
Okay. Looks like a suit of armor.
I'm trying the helmet on, stuff like that.
Okay. So you probably wouldn't have gotten too far, but as you're kind of beginning to play around with the idea of putting the stuff on, maybe you stuck the helmet on or something, Yoan comes up to the lift in the center of the room.
I just kind of shake my head, accept it, and start searching the room. I'm gonna look at the oven.
Okay. Looking at it for oven reasons, or for maybe there's something hidden here reasons?
Maybe there's something hidden there reasons.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Yeah, I mean, no signs of anything other than an oven and a wall.
It's terrible. Can I search around the place for anything else? Something that seems out of the ordinary?
Sure. I guess go ahead and make one more investigation check. right. Let's see here. As you're kind of making your way around the room, you notice there's a smell of lavender emanating from the wooden chest. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I look inside the chest?
Sure. So you head over and try the lid, which is unlocked. You open it up, and as you kind of sling the top of the chest back, you look in to find a severed head sitting in the chest. It has kind of a waxy complexion to it, and apparently has been embalmed with some kind of, well, lavender smelling something, as it's pretty well preserved.
Do I know if vampires' faces look waxy? From when I saw them before?
Make a history check.
I did not mean to cast frostbite.
Not particularly.
I turned towards Ron, holding up the head.
Hey!
Does this look familiar to you?
I knew of a band that, another band that used those as props, but other than that, not really. I don't think. I like the look, though. That suits you.
Okay. Can I do an Arcana check on the head to see if, I don't know, it is imbued with magic?
Sure. There is something magical about this head.
I will tell Ron that the head's magical.
Wait, what? Let me see. Reach
I
out,
don't know. I bring him the head.
Let's say, like, kind of hold it out and say, hello?
No response.
Alas.
Poor
Still
Yorick.
just sitting there.
Indeed. Oh shit, I don't know how to make it work. I'll just kind of hold it between my hands and shake it.
Yeah, still just sitting there, being a severed head.
Can I look in the box for anything magical?
Are there any instructions in there?
Yeah, I mean, you look in the box, and there doesn't seem to be anything else.
Is there something I can do to, like, see if I can find a switch or something to activate this head?
A switch? It's from like a Halloween prop store.
Basically. Well, I mean, it's magical, so.
I mean, sure. Go ahead and I guess we'd call that an investigation check.
Oh boy. It's not too bad. It's like one of my...
Yeah, you don't see any buttons or switches or any sort of mechanism affixed to the head.
Alright, can I attempt to just kind of sit back and attempt to attune to it?
You can certainly try.
Alright, I'll do it.
Okay. So, yeah.
While he's attuning to the severed head, can I explore the other floors, making sure I don't, like, go through them?
Yeah, okay. So let's see here. just for reference, how much does Yoan weigh?
Well, it says he has 122 on him, and he is 190 pounds. So 310-ish.
Okay.
So he knows that he's pretty heavy, so he'll be extra cautious.
All right. So yeah, you head back over to the lift, and I mean, it would seem you've kind of seen everything on the first floor, and that leaves the second and third. Which one would you like to check out?
Let's try the third.
Okay. So again, this is the one that has the big gash in the wall, and most of it's covered in this slimy black mildew.
Do I know what the mildew is? Like, what type of mildew?
Semen.
That got weird. Go ahead and make a nature check. Yes. It's regular mildew, just taken to a pretty drastic extreme.
Okay. It's not magical or anything.
It is not magical mildew, no.
Okay. Okay. Nothing else on that floor I can see.
I mean, that's all pretty observable from the elevator platform. I mean, looking around, there's not much in the way of, I guess, extras around this floor. I mean, most of the floor itself, probably about half of the floor itself, is already given way.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, pretty empty, pretty vacant.
Okay. And I'll go down to the second floor.
Alright. Also pretty empty. Certainly in better shape than the floor above. And there's a bit more loose debris sitting around, but you gather a lot of that is probably just the floor/ceiling that's caved in above you.
Okay. I will leave Ron to his attuning head and go outside and gather the people and ask them if they have any ideas. Who did we lose?
We gained a fill.
Oh, okay.
I'm just listening for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's cool. Alright. So yeah, you kind of gather everyone else at the base of the tower. Ron, you spend your 15 minutes or so attempting to attune to the severed head you found in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I found it. Thank you very much.
That your party, the collective you, found in the chest. There doesn't seem to be any connection made.
Did Yoan relay this information before going outside?
Yeah.
I'm heading up.
All right. So after the time it takes Yoan to kind of survey the other floors and round everyone else up, I would say Ron's probably reaching the end of his attunement attempt.
Yep.
And yeah, Malkar comes up on the lift.
I just approached Ron and said, you could have had me identify it for you.
Sure. Here. And I'll just kind of hand it to him and I'll say, wait a second, hold it out for a second. I'm going to say, I've seen some ugly faces in my time, but you're the ugliest head. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on it.
Okay.
Just see if it does anything.
still seems to just sit there being a severed head.
It's all yours. I'm out of ideas.
I'll spend the 10 minutes doing that as a ritual.
Okay, so the head is handed off to the next person. And yeah, Melkar, you spend about 10 minutes kind of setting everything up and undergoing the ritual. And essentially what you gather is it's not an enchanted item in the traditional sense. Rather, it's, well, clearly a head that has been imbued with something in the way that it's been preserved. Specifically, the magical oils that are preserving this head would allow it to remember conversations it has had while under the effect of a spell like Speak with Dead.
Huh. I was just sitting there with him while he was doing that.
You know who might have that spell?
Octavio might.
I just look down the elevator shaft saying, Geronimo! And I drop the head.
I tried to catch it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a dex save for that. Alright, it's a close one, but you do manage to kind of fingertip catch the head before it just splatters against the lift platform.
I just yell up, "Why are you throwing the head?"
Show it to Rictavio. Ask him to speak with Dead to it.
Yeah, I'll bring it out to Rictavio. Like, they said to ask you if you could speak to the dead with this head. I'll show both him and Esmeralda.
Okay. Alright. So Rictavio sort of looks at the thing and tell you what, everyone who's downstairs, I guess that would be what,
That's me.
Ron? Yeah, that would be Ron.
Ron's upstairs.
Well, I was gonna ask if I could, if I cast Misty Step to go downstairs, would I be able to make it to the where they are? Like down there, at least.
How far can you go with Misty Step?
30 feet.
That would get you down like basically 2 floors. You could take the elevator.
Alright, I'll wait for the elevator to come up, and then I will step on it, and then wait for it to go back down.
Okay.
Wheezing on with him.
Okay. It gets awkward on that long elevator ride down 3 floors, but you know, you're pretty well acquainted at this point.
I lick his feet.
I like
Okay,
it.
so since everyone's going to be down there for this, everybody go ahead and give me a d20 roll.
Aww.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
so Ron.
Well, we may or may not get to that. Okay. So then, Rictavio, with kind of a raised eyebrow, clearly taken aback at being presented with a severed head, kind of places it down on the ground and let's see. Well, he has to kind of set everything up, and so it effectively works like a ritual spell. So everyone has plenty of time to get downstairs, and after 10 minutes go by, You see this kind of brilliant glow begin to emanate from Rotavio's hands, and he sort of just places them both on the head and withdraws them. You see this look of concentration and just extreme effort being expended on his part as he's trying to reach out and somehow connect with the owner of this head.
While this is going on, I'm side-eyeing the dwarf, trying to figure out what he does.
I mean, he's got a few weapons on him. It looks like
Does he have a great axe on him?
No.
I knew a goblin once.
of course you did.
We'll make the breathing sounds in his mind again.
Alright. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any effect. For all the ceremony and effort and drama that you've seen unfold in front of you, for whatever reason, Rotavio doesn't seem able to establish contact with the owner of this head.
Obviously, that ritual.
What was that?
I said he needs to teach me that ritual.
Yeah, and he just looks frustrated with himself. I'm not sure why it's not working. It doesn't make any sense. If anything, it should be easier here. Souls are trapped here in Barovia. He just turns and kind of storms off, frustrated.
I mean, we could always just Eldritch Blast it and destroy it.
I'm gonna go upstairs and pick up the box and carry it down and put the head inside the box and put it in the cart.
If Yoan is going upstairs, I'm gonna go up too with Yoan, and I'm going to grab the helmet off of the thing, and I'm gonna try to shove the head into the helmet and then put it in the box.
Okay. So you now have a severed head in a helmet in a box.
Sounds about right.
All
Talk
right.
to you guys later.
Hope you enjoyed that one, Phil.
It's been delightful to say the least.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do while you're here?
Let me go sit on the wagon and finish my staff.
Okay.
I'm gonna size out the outside of the tower with the inside of the tower to make sure there's no like kind of secret space.
Okay. I guess we could call that. That's probably more. Let's call that a investigation, I guess.
Investigation, I guess.
Gosh, these mediocre rolls.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that seems to indicate that there's a hidden space anywhere. Everything seems pretty, accurate. Doesn't look like there's any TARDIS action going on here.
I ask Ron if he has any more ideas.
We could Eldritch Blast it.
The head?
The tower.
Eldritch
What will
blast
that
everything.
Oh yeah. It's worked in the past. I don't know.
Well,
I check the name on the door and say it to the head to see if it does anything.
Okay. So the head does not seem to respond, but the helmet begins to rattle around.
I open the box.
Okay. You see the head, like the lid or the visor, so to speak, of the helmet is kind of flapping open and closed. Just
I'm gonna run to
yeah.
the elevator and go up and see what the rest of the armor is doing.
I will bring the box up with him. We will be cozy.
Okay. He will be cozy. All right. So you are taking the platform up, and again, kind of rattling along. So as you make it up to the 4th floor, you see that standing there right at the edge of the elevator shaft is a headless suit of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Just standing there.
I take the helmet off the severed head and place it back on the suit of armor.
Okay. It stands there now with a head.
Um,
I'm gonna say sup.
No response.
Are its hands open or closed or what are they?
Just kind of standing there, arms at its sides.
I'm gonna get off the elevator and see if it goes down.
Okay. The other person who was on the elevator also.
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I'll step off.
Okay. Yeah, the armor steps onto the elevator and begins to go down.
I'm gonna jump on with it.
Okay.
I don't want to break it, so I will just wait till
Fair
the
enough.
elevator comes back up.
Okay. So, Ron, you ride the elevator down with this apparently animated suit of armor.
It's not aggressive at all to me, is it?
No, it's just standing there.
I'm gonna, kind of breathe into it and kind of wipe out, try to shine off a little piece of it.
Okay.
Just while I'm waiting.
Yep. You ride the elevator down, and as you reach ground level, the suit of armor promptly steps off and approaches your new dwarven companion and just stands there.
I say the name on the door to it again.
Doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Have I seen something like this before, like in my travels?
Make a history check. I mean, you haven't really seen anything like this, but you've heard stories of magically imbued items that respond to a command word. It occurs to you that may be the case here.
Oh, I was thinking it might be like a golem or something. Because we used to use those as bouncers.
When I come down, I ask the dwarven person whose name I still do not know.
Dane.
Dane. I'm Yoan, by the way. I was reading a book and I came across someone named Yoan spelled it the same way.
Ooh, shiny.
Where is I going? Command it to do something.
Go back up the elevator.
It turns around and makes for the elevator.
As do I.
And yeah, it walks over and rides the elevator all the way back up.
I try to say the command word.
Okay. You say the command word.
I tell it to turn around.
It does not turn around.
I tell it to turn around.
It turns around.
Well, it only responds to you now, I guess.
Great.
That's pretty cool.
I tell it to come back down the elevator.
And that it does.
just like riding up and down the elevator constantly. Well, that's cool. Maybe this is what we were supposed to find here.
Oh, history and knowledge of the ancient will help me better understand the enemy. Yeah. Okay.
What is called enemy?
Was there ever? I look at Rictavio. Was there ever a fire in this tower that you know of?
Other than what I would have lit in the stove to keep warm at night, not really.
Do you know why the top floor is in such good shape, but the second and third floors aren't?
Well, that was mostly my doing. I wanted the most fortified position I could have, and, well, given the lack of structural integrity of the entire tower, I'd prefer to have my enemies coming in from below than above. There's only one way for them to attack me from, rather than being surrounded if I were to, say, set up shop on the second level and have them coming from both above and below.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Did you make the golems?
I did not. Most of what you see here was here long before I first found the place. I never really knew what to do with the suit of armor, though. That's quite a development.
Wait, you never thought to try that?
Never particularly interested me.
Oh.
Well, it's cool though.
Yeah.
Should we rest here for the night and then maybe go to the mansion?
Sure. Yeah, we've got some new people, and maybe we can possibly save the tiger still. I don't know.
I don't know.
So,
I mean, is there anything else that we should do here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, yeah, I make sure to put the head in the wagon so we can keep the head.
Okay.
I'm going to go up to the top floor, and before I do, I'll say everybody should join me on the top floor.
On second thought, I bring the head with us on the top floor so it's safe for the night.
Okay.
Did you come tell me?
Yeah, I'm saying this to everybody.
I was outside.
Well, he finds a way to say it to everybody and says it to everybody.
I give Melkar pointers on how to make a really good staff.
Twinge of guilt, perhaps.
Me and my suit of armor go upstairs as well.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we're good. Once we're all up there, I'll say everybody get in close, and I will cast, oh wait, shit. I can't cast it.
Why?
I thought you had to do it, didn't I?
No, not yet.
Well, fuck. Well, whatever.
No bubble for us.
I guess not. No, wait, I should have one. I should have one because we leveled up and I got an extra one.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I do have one then.
I'm still gonna build a fire. Does that thing produce heat, or do we need heat?
Link it.
Yeah, the hut is climate controlled.
Yes.
I'm gonna build a fire for light, for those that are not
I can make it light
with dark vision.
I can have the interior be dimly lit.
The interior.
Yep.
But if we leave, I mean, like, the exterior should also be lit. So we can see things when they're not in the interior.
I mean, okay. That'll work.
All right. So yeah, you build a fire in the stove, and Ron casts tiny hut, and so you all have a nice climate-controlled, mood-lit bubble to spend the night in.
Yep.
And we can have warm food.
You can have warm food.
Around what time was it?
I mean, after all the traveling and exploring and all that stuff, I'd say you're still on track for kind of an early rest. So, I don't know, I mean, probably wouldn't be later than, call it like 8 by the time you're ready to settle in.
I want to put at least another 2 hours into the staff.
Okay.
You said your name was Dane?
Yes.
I want to talk with Dane to figure out, I don't know, his life, generally.
Ron's
And
rolling up
catch
some
him up.
blackgrass. Gonna hotbox the box.
Okay. So yeah, and Austin, if you don't have a ton of character backstory dreamt up or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
You don't have to tell me. It's just
That's good.
filler time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case I need to know something about you in the future. I'm saying that I'm learning it now.
Okay.
Okay. So anything else you guys would like to do before kind of turning in for the night and getting your long rest?
Well, one of us should stay awake in case those stupid hags come. We should actually take watch anyway.
I'll take first watch.
We wouldn't be able to see them anyways. They're on the ethereal plane, remember?
Yeah, but they can't do anything to us unless they come to this one. I think.
No.
I mean, they can't, like, attack us.
They put the curse on you guys before while in the dome.
Yeah, they can still do the curse.
Yeah. But they can't, like, physically, punch us or something.
Oops.
Who died?
No, I just clicked a button. I didn't know what it did.
It's alright,
what it does.
there's a lot of that.
I still think we should stay, so at least have one person stay up.
I said I'd take first watch.
Yeah.
But I need, other people to take watches, because I need sleep.
I can't see in the dark.
I built a fire, so you can see in the dark.
And so you wouldn't have any excuse.
Alright, I'll take second.
I'll take third.
I wake him up
Okay.
an hour early for the watch. So I only take instead of taking the 2-hour watch, I take an hour.
Okay.
Thanks.
Alright. It's easy enough to kind of, patch it together as far as watch shifts and everything. So, yeah, the night passes. Fire in the stove kind of burns down to the last few embers, barely flickering in the morning. And all of you benefit from a long rest. And that means if you're missing hit points, if you're missing spells, all that stuff, you get them all back. For Austin's reference, I don't think you're missing anything at this point, but
Nope.
that's what a long rest will do for you. It's basically, fully patched up.
Okay.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning. You're actually able to get a decently early start. Pretty much around what you gather would be somewhat like sunup. It's more just kind of degrees of how dark it is at this point in Barovia. So there's kind of this dull, pale light just barely making its way through the clouds. But enough to let you know that night's passed. So what's next?
Okay. Bringing the head down and putting it in the wagon.
Okay.
Sitting on top of the wagon and whittling my staff.
I walk down and I reach in my bag and pull out a little quarter staff and I hand it to Malkar and say, I didn't realize I had this. Maybe this might help.
How long does it take for me to turn it into a arcane focus?
Let's call that a day.
Alright, start on that.
I'll take his wood that he's been carving though and put it in my bag.
Okay.
However long I have to work on it uninterrupted, that's what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
Okay. Back to the mansion.
Is the suit of armor still following around?
Yep, it's following me around.
Yep.
Sweet. Where are we gonna put it?
It can walk behind us.
Well, no,
I
we
think.
can just have it get in the side where I stay in the wagon.
Or we could do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So open the door, like the side door for it.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work.
It is now our replacement. Sabertooth.
All right.
Does the suit of armor have a sword or no?
It does not.
Okay.
I will pull the half carved stick out and put it in his hand.
All right. Okay. So as you guys are all kind of preparing.
I'll hand it my dagger.
All right.
So wait, it has a half carved stick in one hand and a dagger in the other.
Yep. I'm gonna whittle you to death.
And a shield, because for some reason I have a shield. So.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just hand it the shield.
Okay.
So it has a shield now.
And a stick.
Sounds good.
All right. So as you guys are figuring out how to accessorize your new suit of armor, Esmeralda is kind of rooting through her wagon that's been parked out front, and let's see, you see a number of things kind of piled up outside of it, as though to suggest she wants to bring some stuff along. Let's see. When all is said and done, she has produced what looks like 2 spell tubes, like, tubes for scrolls to go in, I should say. So scroll tubes.
Ooh.
What else? A tiny wooden box wrapped in silk. A number of kind of small bundled packages that you kind of gather are assorted kits for, well, whatever things she might need to do in a pinch. And she drags a heavy wooden trunk out of the back of the wagon and kind of throws the lid open. You can see the entire exterior of this trunk is just covered in claw marks and dried all kinds of fluids. But looking in there, you can all see that there is a battle axe, a flail, a morning star, and a light crossbow.
I go and try to lift, or I'll try to help her lift the trunk out, like get it out and stuff. And when she
Yeah,
opens up,
she is just dragging it out and letting it poof down into the mud, like with no regard for, and anything other than just getting it out of the wagon so she can open it.
alright. Well, I'll help her with that anyway.
Okay.
But when she opens it, I'm gonna kind of look at her, kind of like asking permission. And if she kind of lets me, I'm gonna reach in and grab the battle axe and run it over to the suit of armor.
Yeah, she kind of looks at you and shrugs, like, sure.
Alright, I will take the stick and give it the axe instead.
Those are two-handed, right?
It's a magical suit of armor. I assume it's just
Right.
I mean,
But it still has a strength score.
it doesn't. It's not like an Indian god. It still has two hands.
Yeah, it's battle axes are considered versatile weapons, so you can use them
Oh.
either one or two-handed.
Oh, okay. Well, I can let it decide whether or not it wants the shield.
Well, ultimately that comes down to Dane's choice. Does it want a shield?
Yeah, I can keep the shield.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right. So you've got a nicely outfitted, animated suit of armor, as well as your other companions here. Okay. Anything else before you guys hit the road and presumably head back to the mansion?
Yeah, the mansion.
I will say, hey, Esmeralda, do you want to just take all the weapons with us?
You could certainly do that.
We've got room. I mean, we've got room in the back.
If it's not an inconvenience, it would certainly help in a pinch.
Alright, I'll grab them all. I'll, start shuttling the weapons over.
Okay.
Can I just go over and pick up the box?
Yoan going beast mode here with the... Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Yoan just walks over and kind of closes the lid. And it's hard to find a spot where you're not going to get, probably half a dozen splinters from just grabbing this thing, but you figure it out. I'd say you don't need to make a roll. You're just able to kind of and get it up into the wagon. So, yeah, you guys now have a bunch of Esmeralda stuff.
Sweet.
Cool. So, anything else?
Well, not that I can think of.
All right. So, then with another, well, I guess member and a half of your party, you embark from the tower and back along the overgrown path to the road and follow it down south, keeping right at the fork to go back along the familiar stretch of road that leads to the mansion of Argynvostholt. Ron is prestidigitationing something.
The suit armor, just shining. I want it to sparkle
Okay.
in the sunlight.
All right. Cool.
How long does it take to get to the mansion?
I'd give that one another, call it 4 hours.
Okay. You're halfway done.
Okay. So, so as you make the familiar trip back to Argynvostholt, for the benefit of people who might not have seen the place before, high above this river valley juts a kind of quiet little woodside path that eventually leads to a looming, very aged-looking mansion with a number of turrets kind of jutting up from the thing's construction. Number of towers lined with sculpted battlements. Looks like about a third of the place has collapsed. This would be the wing that is currently on your right, approaching the mansion. But the rest of it appears to be in decent enough shape. There's a dark octagonal tower that seems to rise above the surrounding architecture toward the back of the property. And out of the fog, you can just see a distant flash of lightning. And you hear off in the distance the howling of wolves in the woods below. But here you are, back at Argynvostholt.
Is the body of the tiger still here?
The body of the tiger is still lying right where it was killed, at the front steps.
Well, do we want to try and not upset those creatures this time?
I would say, just for all of your reference, because I know it's hard to keep maps of places all straight and everything. What you had done last time was essentially walked in the front door and made your way to the back of the mansion. Pretty much directly. You took the doors beyond the flight of stairs that led to a dining room that then opened into a chapel of sorts, where you ran into those pretty nasty undead creatures that ended up killing Rictavia's saber-toothed tiger and chasing you all off.
Let's just not go in the chapel.
We could go around the side, but there's spiders. Really, really big spiders.
Do you feel like attacking spiders?
I don't care.
We can try attacking the spiders this time.
We can all go in together and let the suit of armor tank for us.
We could do that too.
But you're a better tank, Malkar.
You're the best tank. He's not a tank, by the way.
He is so a tank.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't mind me refreshing as I'm trying to put things together here on Roll20. I'm not leaving you, I promise.
I don't care. Which we do.
This one is a sword. And it's in the highest peak, so it's up in the attic.
Or the top of the tower.
Mansion?
The mansion has a tower.
Oh.
A turret.
Oh.
It has turrets and towers.
Yeah.
Well, we have to go to the highest one.
Yeah. Which is over there, and I point at it. Just in case Ron can't tell the height of things.
How is it?
Oh, I thought we were going in the mansion.
We are.
Oh.
It's all one large interconnected structure.
Ron just now realizes that.
So let's see. The tallest point on this kind of sprawling estate is probably somewhere around 60 to 80 feet high.
Is it a flat surface up there?
You don't know. I mean, I guess you could try going on the roof. You could see if the roof is a flat surface.
Does it look like one of those big cone roof towers?
Let's see here. So that one in particular. Why is the thing not doing the thing? Alright, so that point. Let's see, yeah, that's going to be closer to. Actually, that's closer to 100 feet just to the floor, which you can kind of make out where the floor would be in this structure, as the top area of it seems to be open. Well, go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can tell any more.
I'm gonna see if the dwarf is scared about going up that high.
Dwarf doesn't mind heights too much. Used to giant chasms in the mines.
Okay. Yeah, there does seem to be a kind of slanted roof over this this uppermost reach of the tower at the back of the estate. The upper floor seems to be, about 80 feet up, and the roof probably another 10 beyond that.
Is that roof slanted?
Yes.
Is there any holes in any of the walls up near the top?
Well, like I said, the top floor is open, and what you can tell from that check is there looks to be like a how would I put this? You can see through what are actually mostly broken windows into this uppermost room, where you can see looks to be a large brazier or something to that effect, like something that you could maybe light a big fire in.
The floor of that area, or anything that I could stand on within 90 feet of the ground where we're standing?
It would be close. You might have to try getting up like right to a ledge. You'd probably have to stand at the base of this tower and attempt to travel all the way up and land right on a ledge. You'd be pushing your range, but could happen.
Or you plummet to your death.
Or you plummet to your death. There's
Yeah, I
that.
don't want to risk that. Just go in the front door.
Okay.
Are we stealthily going in the front door, or are we just going in the front door?
That's up to you guys.
Open the door and peek in.
Okay.
Like
So
a mile wide around the door.
All right. So, sticking your head in, looking around at this place that you were driven out of not so long ago. You see the familiar entryway. Everything inside seems pretty still, quiet. See the grand staircase leading up to a series of stone balconies. Tall, faded tapestry depicting a nobleman hanging above one of the staircase landings. And you see a number of sets of double doors kind of lining the walls of this area. 2 on your right, 2 on your left, and 2 against the far wall.
Do I see that big creature that was running around before that we only got a glimpse of?
Make a perception check. No?
That's never good. I'm gonna step on in.
Okay. So you walk into this vast, echoing entry hall of the mansion. You don't seem to have drawn any attention thus far.
At this point, I'll walk up to Esmeralda and say, "By the way, is there anything you can do for Tavio's cat outside?" Just kind of whisper it to her.
Unfortunately, I do not have any of that type of spell available to me. We would most likely need to consult a holy man, probably one even more powerful than Victavio himself.
Dang. Okay.
I shout out in deep speech. Show yourself, I know you're in here.
Okay.
While using thaumaturgy to make my voice louder.
Okay. Almost immediately, the doors on your right begin to rattle, and you can hear a cacophony of screeching and clicking from the other side. This, you remember, is the large, somewhat ruined room where a number of oversized spiders had been making their home.
I walk out the door.
Okay.
The main door.
Yeah. Leaving the house. Someone else go first.
Where does the clicking sound like it's coming from?
It seems to be focused on the set of double doors that would be against the right wall, further back. So there are 2 sets on that wall. It's the further back of the 2 sets.
Yeah, we saw that in the crack in the... There's a hole in the back of the house. We saw all the spiders.
Yeah.
So
Do they
let's
seem
not
to be
open that
coming
door.
out the door?
No, and as time goes by, things seem to wind down a bit.
I look out and tell my car that they're quiet now.
Go back in and
Go back in and what?
I want to cast Eldritch Blast on that door.
Okay. And so, as you walk in and you cast Eldritch Blast on the door against which the spiders had been throwing themselves, you blast it open. and before the rubble even has a chance to clear, a large spider is already squeezing its way through the hole. Yeah.
Oh, I'm leaving again.
Yep. Going back out the door.
I want to be next to them. I want to drop one of these right there. Right in the pile of them.
Well, there's not a pile yet. So are
Well,
you
I mean,
waiting for a number of them to come flying out of the
As soon
door?
as he opens the door, I got a 60-foot range. So as soon as he blasts open the door, the farthest point in I can see, I drop Shatter.
Okay.
Can I also drop a spell? Just in the lobby? In front
Sure.
of the door?
Sure.
Okay. Casting that. Oops. I'll let you read it.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. That's
Oh,
cool.
this again.
Yeah, this again. Okay. So, yeah, you hear a number of them kind of cry out and squealing, screeching. And a few of them do actually seem to just go down after the barrage of spells is kind of thrown in their direction. But there are still a number of them that seem to be kind of creeping up and over the fallen bodies of their spider comrades and squeezing out of the door.
I'm in the back of the group.
Okay,
I'm
so
out of the house. I'm dropping that spell and backing up.
okay, is anybody holding their ground, or are you all?
I'm not running, I'm just backing up.
All right. Well, I guess the question is: are you all staying inside the mansion, or are you leaving?
Leaving.
Yeah, I'm in the doorway, just kind of watching what happens.
Okay. Then in that case.
Not dealing with very angry spiders.
All right. Go ahead and have initiative roll. That. Do that. Okay. So Ron, well, actually, I should check. Melkar, are you just out?
I'm in the back of the group, but I'll fight.
Okay, so you're all kind of huddled either in or just beyond the doorway then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Austin.
Yep. And and the suit of armor too.
Okay. So, yeah, your new traveling companion get themselves into trouble. First thing they do is get the attention of a whole room full of giant spiders. So let's see. That's Ron, we got Melkar, we got Yoan.
Let's be honest, it's really Malkar that got attention of the spiders.
It's always Melkar.
I wasn't about to have one of those sneak up on me at a later point, thinking they're all locked in the room.
I was hoping just that would happen.
So don't even warn anyone. Just
Alright.
People.
Let me get Dane's mini out here. Go. Oh, that's... What the f*** is happening here?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
It's all your
yeah.
fault.
Definitely.
All your fault. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Suit of armor. Esmeralda. Rictavio.
I can't see the turn order.
That's because it's not up for people to see yet. So I'm still situating all this crap.
Okay.
So it happens when you have like as many NPCs as PCs in your party.
Yep.
I didn't do that either. That was all you.
I
Just
don't
had to
know.
stir the pot.
I blame Melkar for everything.
That's
Seems
fair.
about right. Everybody's on board with this. Okay. So, just adjusting for some of the damage that you guys would have already done to these guys.
They're all dead.
No, they're not all dead, but a lot of them are.
Yep.
Got a good start. Okay. So, they're going to keep coming out of the wall, like so.
There's things in the walls. I don't like them at all.
Indeed. Initiative for this clusterfuck of people. Initiative for the spiders.
They don't need initiative. You could just kill them.
Yeah. Okay. So, all of that being done, there you go.
Alright. Hey, this looks familiar.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Those
god.
spiders are pink.
Those spiders are huge.
So, Melkar, you are up first.
That's. I guess I'm just gonna cast some more Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Specifically.
One
Okay.
damage.
Yeah, closest one.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll assume, unless somebody specifies otherwise. You're aiming for the closest. Okay. So that is a hit with that solid 1 damage. And then your second blast seems to swing wide, miss. Anything else for Melkar?
No, I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. So then that is going to bring us to Esmeralda, who she is going to she's going to charge in. She's crazy like that.
Ugh.
And she would like to rage.
Is she going to charge through my thorns?
I thought you said you dropped. Did you mean drop the spell like you use the spell?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have a 20-foot radius,
Cool.
and I would probably drop in the center. So,
Holy shit.
yeah.
The
Well,
whole
probably
room.
not there. I'd probably drop here. Lied.
You died.
Like right there.
I lied. So,
Oh, that's a box. That's not a circle. You should be a circle.
Wherever the door is, that's where I drop mine.
Okay. That's still. Let's try this one. There we go. Then along those lines. And then. Yeah, I already accounted for the one-off damage from Ron, so that's good.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Okay. So, Esmeralda goes running in.
my thing is this entire room. Where it's a circle. Oops.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll get the idea. It's not like they're really gonna venture the others. Okay. So 5, 6. She's that. Kind of stay at the cusp, I guess. We'll call that the cusp of the spell, like the effect area. And she's just kind of standing ready. Octavio.
How big are these squares?
Each one of them is 10 by 10.
Oh, okay. I thought there were 5.
They are not. Otherwise, you would be 2.5 on the map.
I'm tiny. Well, I'm not 5 feet wide. Gosh.
Anyway,
Wild Toga has a beard.
okay. Tavio is going to do the same thing. Kind of hold up at the edge of the spell effect area. Ron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stay right where I am, and I think I can reach. Just to make sure. Yeah, I'll drop right where my cursor is. Drop another shatter.
Okay. Okay. That. Damage to everybody. Alright, and the spiders are just like squealing as the effect goes off. A lot of them do seem to be showing a good bit of wear and tear.
Alright.
It seems after getting bombarded by back-to-back spells from Ron, and then having to trek through the thorns and all that fun stuff. It's adding up already.
I did 1 damage.
Oh, there was that 1 damage too.
I'm gonna look over at Rictavio, and I'm gonna say, Rictavio, do it for your tiger, and I'll inspire him.
Okay. All right. So then that is going to bring us to the animated armor. So effectively, what you've got here is it can move about the same amount as a normal person. You could have it charge through the spell effect, potentially. Let's see. Does it do friendly fire or no?
It just is a creature.
Okay,
Any
so
creature.
yes. Okay. Then you could have it charge through, taking some damage, and getting to a point where it could kind of bottleneck the spiders. Or you could have it sit back and wait for them to kind of deal some damage to themselves walking through the thorns. Whatever you would like to tell the suit of armor to do, that's what it's going to do.
Oh, it sits there at the edge and waits for them.
Okay. So, call it right there. And Yoan.
I'm pretty sure my thorns are just gonna do them in. So I just say, save your spells. My thorns do lots of damage, and I'm just gonna cast frostbite at one of them.
Okay.
The nearest one.
All right.
Constitution save.
Okay. That's a nat 4. I don't think that's going to do it.
Nope. 6 damage.
Yep. Okay.
It has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes. I don't think the spiders have weapons, so.
Technically, most melee attacks are considered weapon attack rolls, just for your reference.
Well, it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay. Cool. All right. That's going to bring us to Dane.
All right. So
What are you doing? You can move up to 30 feet. For reference here, one of these squares is about 10 by 10.
Okay.
You can attack. You can use any of the things on your character sheet that are listed as like like if you have weapons, you can use those. Anything you have listed as an action or bonus action, you could pop that. I know fighters tend to have a lot of different stuff that they can do. So
You can do 3 things on a turn.
Okay.
You can do all 3 of them on every turn.
Yeah.
You can move. You have an action. You have a bonus action.
Okay.
So usually weapon attacks are actions.
Okay.
yeah, and
So I'd,
when you get into higher levels like this, a lot of the time you'll actually get multiple weapon attacks for one action, which is nice.
Okay.
Which is what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I move to the edge of the thorns.
Okay.
Use my sword on the nearest spider.
I'm not sure you can reach
Okay.
Yeah,
the spider.
probably wouldn't
Okay.
be able to reach.
I can't reach a spider. Okay. So I just stand there at the edge of the thorns with my sword.
Okay, just kind of ready.
Yep.
All right. Let's put you there. Do that. Okay. Cool. So then that finally will bring us to the spiders. They rolled a big 5 on initiative. All right. So 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. Okay. So that then is going to just drop the first one as it comes charging through, and it just kind of collapses in the middle of the entryway. Seeing that, the second one is actually going to keep pushing through. That's going to be an insta-kill anyway. Watching that happen, then the remaining few that are still kind of squeezing out of the doorway that was blown open are going to look at that, look at the fallen spider bodies in front of them, and turn around and head back through the broken doors.
I don't trust them.
Well, that's your call, isn't it?
How many more looked like they were pushing their way out?
By the sound of it, probably 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, I can drop the thorns on my next turn.
Okay.
And then we can all head into battle once again. I mean, if no one's doing anything, we can just have it be my next turn.
Yeah, I mean, unless anybody has something they really want to do before she drops the thorns.
Gonna move up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Oops.
Yep.
All right. Easy enough. So, thorns drop,
Yep.
which we'll have to assume then brings us back around to Eowyn's turn.
Yeah, so I drop thorns. And where's the doorway?
The one that the
Exactly.
spiders are coming from is right here.
Okay. What, 30? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is dropping it a bonus action?
What does it say? Is this a concentration spell?
Yeah.
For that, then I'd say you could just stop concentrating. It's not anything.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can make it to the door if I dash. I'll just yell out, I see 3.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go kiss the spiders.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So then that's going to bring us back to Dane. You've just seen Eowyn go running after the spiders that have begun to flee.
I follow.
Okay.
Yeah. I used my action to dash, which means I moved twice my movement. So I moved, and then I used my movement as my action.
Yeah. So double move at the expense of the double move at the expense of getting to do other things. In this case, you probably won't even get to the action unless you do that. So,
Okay.
would you like to do that then? Kind of double move and keep with it.
Yes.
Okay. So then that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2.
Doesn't a dwarf only have 25 movement speed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it'll still get you right there in the doorway. If you double it to the 50, yeah.
I did not take the best route to get there, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So Dane's there, head up on the spider with Yoan. Okay. And being out of the thorns and not dealing with any of that stuff, the spiders are going to turn and attack. I'm going to roll to see which one of the two of you it's going to attack. Okay, that's going to be Yoan for this one. And so the spider is going to snap at you with its fangs. And that is an 8 to hit.
That does not hit.
I figured as much. Okay, and well, that's it for that spider. But then the others are going to kind of swarm around the door and just barely be able to reach the two of you. It's going to be one more bite attack against each. So, I'll roll this one more against Yoan first. That's a 7.
Well, yeah, no.
Okay. Alright, and so then Austin, the way this is going to work is I'm going to roll an attack to
Okay.
give a number. You have something called AC or armor class on
Yep.
your character sheet.
Yep.
Just let me know if the number I give you is equal to or higher than your armor class, because in that case it would actually hit.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this hits. I rolled a 20.
Yes.
Okay. So now you get to learn how to make saving throws. I need you to find on your character sheet where the saving throws category is, over toward the left, and click on the Constitution one. Okay. Nice. So by doing that, you did roll high enough to meet the requirement to fight off the potential poison damage from the spider's bite.
He has advantage on
Yeah,
against poison.
Oh,
Sit.
well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Resistant
Either
to poison
way.
too.
The 19 is going to get it done, so no worries.
I mean, if it was half damage, it would go to no damage, right?
Let's see. Oh, that the half of a half thing?
Yeah.
No, it would still be quarter.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Okay, so Austin, you are going to take 8 points of piercing damage. So that means your HP goes down by 8. And then this is a half of a half situation. It's going to be you take 2 points of poison damage as well. So you've lost a total of 10.
Okay. Where's my HP at?
It's in the top and the middle. Where it says current hit points.
Oh, okay.
It's a big box, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And that's going to do it for the spiders. So then that brings us to Melkar.
Yeah, big and ugly.
He has almost twice as much health as me. I'm a little upset.
Oh, also, often don't freak out. I'm about to turn on dynamic lighting for you, so a lot of stuff will go dark. You'll only be able to see what your character has line of sight to.
Okay.
So, how's that?
Okay.
Darker?
No, it was all dark to begin with.
Hmm.
That's weird. So you can't
Oh.
see anything that's going on the screen?
I couldn't. Now I can.
Okay.
I didn't know there was stuff to be seen.
Interesting.
I could see the
All right.
map earlier, but now I can see.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm glad you can see now. Cool. All right. So then, Melkar, what are you doing? Firebolt.
Yeah,
Okay.
Whatever one.
Which one?
Just whatever one's in the doorway right there.
Okay. Yeah. So probably the easiest one for you to see. That's gonna hit. So this little firebolt detonates in the face of the spider, and while it's definitely looking really beat up and now partially burned, it is still standing.
Use another spell. No. Okay. That's the end of my turn then.
Okay. Brings us to Esmeralda, who, again, melee, can't really do a whole lot. Yeah, she's just,
Jeez.
she dashed. That's about all she could really do at this point. Octavio, pretty similar. Yeah. He, and we'll say the spider's got to do it, then he can do it. So he's going to make a couple of attacks against, well, one against the center spider. See if he can drop it. So he pulls out his sword cane. And you see the silver blade of the thing just kind of barely nick the front of the center spider's fangs. And it does seem to do a little bit of damage, but not enough to drop the thing. And so he is going to attack again. And
He is inspired, I believe.
yeah. And he is going to use the inspiration to make it a hit because he was one below the thing's AC. And at that point, it doesn't even matter because it only had one hit point left. That spider in the doorway is down.
Am I like standing on one of the carcasses?
More or less. You know, probably tiptoeing around it so you don't fall on your face. Alright, that's going to end Rictavio's turn. Ron.
Alright, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I am going to cast, double cast my Eldritch Blast at that guy.
Okay. So the first one just almost knocks the thing back. Second one, though, kind of takes a weird curve at the last minute and doesn't quite connect.
I tried to curve it for style points. It didn't work.
All right.
I'm gonna look at Dana and say, "You got it, you little red tree, you." And in a weird way, you feel oddly inspired.
And so what that's going to mean is, well, Taylor, what's your inspiration die now? Is it a D8?
Yep.
Okay, so basically anytime you need to make a D20 roll, Austin, you can,
Okay.
yeah, what this thing says. Basically, you can roll, in this case, a D8, and add that to your total.
Okay.
Mainly for
So-
like attacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So, Then the armor. I'm assuming you want the armor to just charge in and mess shit up, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it can at least stand in the way. It had to dash to get there, but it can kind of tank for you guys. So it runs in, and you've got that set up now. Yoan, your turn.
I guess I will move here and stab this one.
Okay. Be advised that will provoke an attack of opportunity because I'm treating the double doors as all opening.
Okay.
That's how they were able to attack and how Rictavio was able to attack.
Can I reach this one then?
You can reach that one.
Oh, well then I'll stab that one.
Stab that one then. And stab it you do. And yeah, the thing is looking really beat up, but not done yet. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Dane,
Okay.
you are up. And let's see, as of right now, you are in attack range of the spider that landed that bite on you. That's the one that's down to your right.
Okay.
You can make an attack.
Okay. So I use my greatsword.
All right. So, yeah, that 19 is going to hit. And so you deal 6 points. Such a concerned dog. 6 points of slashing damage to the spider. And as you dig into the thing with your greatsword, it just lets out one last and collapses down to the ground, seemingly dead. Okay. That leaves us with only one spider to do things on this turn. And one very concerned dog. Alright, so then the spider is going to make a bite attack against the suit of armor. And that is a 24 to hit, so it is most definitely going to hit. Let's see here. Well, you can't poison armor, so that's out of the question, but it is still going to take a bit of piercing damage. You see a few dents kind of appear where the fangs try to inject the thing with armor. Or with poison, I should say. Words. How do I work? Well, what was that?
To inject armor with armor.
Yep.
Would do again.
Yep. Okay. Melkar. Oh my gosh, Sadie.
Ew, this room's gross. Alright. Trying to get as many attacks in as once. I'll use Eldritch Blast again.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that first one's not quite enough to do it, but then you let loose your second blast and it just splatters the thing all over the nearby wall.
Key spiders.
All right. So the last spider being down, that's going to take us out of initiative. And here you are in this pretty dilapidated looking wing of the mansion. Most obvious thing is the far wall has pretty much entirely caved in, but for a little portion on the right. Beyond that, I mean, you see a bunch of thick webs kind of stretching around.
Vegetation all the webs away.
Okay. So that would probably take a while because that's a lot of webs.
Any that are in the way.
In the way of what? Just walking in?
Anyone exploring.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you look around. You see a number of fallen, shattered chandeliers, broken chairs, and other furnishings. As you clear out the thick coat of webbing that's covering the floor, uh, you see that the floor itself is this really obnoxious pink marble. But beyond that, nothing to be seen.
Where did the shitheads come from last time?
Oh, the guys you fought last time you were here?
Yeah.
So, essentially, there's this large entryway that you're still standing in. If you were to go through this back door here, and then continue in that direction toward the very back of the mansion, you would be in the chapel where you found them before.
Okay. So we're okay then, where we are.
Yeah, I mean you haven't seen them this visit, so seem to be in better shape.
Well, I'm going to watch that door then.
Okay. So Ron is keeping an eye on the back door that led to the dining room and eventually to the chapel. What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna come back into that main entrance room as well.
Okay.
Get away from all these gross webs.
All right. I mean, there's still two really big spider corpses in the entryway, but
Can I like prestidigitation, leaf lower their body away from me?
I'll allow it. So yeah, you just kind of use your magical abilities to just kind of nudge them a little bit at a time off to the side.
Do we want to try and look for those things that we fought before?
We probably should.
Anyone else alive?
Well, if we
You cut out, but she said if you can avoid them, though, it would be better.
We got so many people now.
I mean, I guess we can try and take them on.
I guess is there a staircase in this room that the spiders?
Yeah. So to lay out your options here, are you talking about the spider room or the main entryway?
Well, is there? There is a stairwell upstairs in the main entryway.
Yes. There do not seem to be any stairs in the dilapidated old wing that had been occupied by the spiders. There are some fallen turrets that have essentially collapsed in on themselves, so they're not much more than piles of rubble that you can kind of see out of some of the remaining walls. And you can see the remains of a stable across from the doorway where you had initially thought about keeping the horse and wagon last time you were here.
We probably should just go upstairs and take care of whatever's up there. Because we're going to have to go up in the tower.
Alright.
Alright, so you guys would like to go upstairs then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So from the entryway, there's that central staircase that you would first have to climb up. You're then faced with the decision to go left or right to the second story landing.
Which direction is the tallest tower?
The tallest tower appears to be a little bit off to your left.
I vote we go left.
We'll go left.
All right.
Sure.
All right. So you make your way up the left flight of steps, and find yourselves in sort of the second floor balcony area, still overlooking the main entryway you just ventured through. So from here, your choices are essentially turn right immediately upon coming upstairs, which would lead you to looks like a bit more hallway and maybe some small rooms off to the side. One closed door on your right, as well as a red velvet curtain that hangs along the left wall of the hallway as it kind of turns around a corner toward the back of the house. Let's see. So that's if you turn right. If you turn left, there seems to be a spiral staircase at the edge, like the end of the balcony, if you completely traverse it and go back all the way toward the frontmost part of the house. Along the way to that, there is a pair of double doors on your right. Before that, there is also another stretch of hallway that seems to go further into the wing of the house that was on your left as you enter. So it's nearly straight ahead from your position. It'd be, quick turn left, turn right kind of deal.
Following going.
Guess we're going up to the tower.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will go whatever direction gets me closest to the tower. Because I don't really have a good map of what you described.
Okay. So that would probably count out the frontmost area, at least by your guess. It's essentially walking directly away from the tower to go there. So that would mean then your choices are to kind of follow a hallway that would lead toward the back of the house, or one that would lead to the kind of leftmost reaches of it from your entry perspective.
Oh, is the tower in like the middle left?
It's basically back left.
Let's go towards the back.
Okay.
I would like to do my comprehend languages ritual while we're walking.
Okay. All right. So you make your way down the hall toward the back of the house. As you make a slight right-hand turn toward kind of the central rear of the house, you do pass on your left a red velvet curtain that hangs in a doorway of sorts, as well as a closed door on your right. Would you like to investigate anything there, or just keep going?
I want to peek beyond the curtain.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Sorry.
I perceive everything.
and it's a good thing you do, because you notice out the windows that sit beyond the curtain that your perspective from the front of the house might not have been the best. This large tower that you were looking at back there doesn't seem to be entirely attached to the mansion. It seems to be a freestanding entity, fenced in, still hard to access from the outside, but not entirely affixed to. There's a path that you can see leading from actually not too far from where you are, but a level below. And if memory serves, it actually leads out from the chapel where you encountered the undead creatures before.
Oh. Okay. Well, I groan, and I'm going to pull back the curtain and say the tower actually isn't attached to the house. It's probably accessed through the door in the chapel.
Okay, well, let's go back down and out.
What do you want?
Alright.
Continue doing the
Alright.
ritual while clenching my cheeks.
Time out for just 1 second. I gotta figure out what the fuck my dog wants.
She's been out. She has food. She has water. Does she want my steak that's sitting there?
That could be.
Do you want to put the steak in the fridge or something?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Bruh.
Okay.
I think she wanted the steak.
Boiled dog.
You have no idea.
Oh, he does. He's met Sadie.
She's not getting the steak, but she wants the steak.
So I guess I will head out of the house then. And
Head out of the house or head to the chapel?
it's not attached. I was gonna go around the outside of the house.
Oh no, it's fenced in. Like I showed you it. Like it's like in a courtyard.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head out and go around the house, not through the house.
And do what?
I don't know. Go to the chapel, or not the chapel, the tower.
You can't reach the tower. There's a wall.
Oh,
I'll get us in.
It's like... it's like... Oh, draw that smaller. Like, here's the chapel. And it has this door for the tower.
oh,
And here's the wall.
oh.
And
Okay.
here's the rest of the house.
Well, I guess we are going through the chapel.
I'm assuming, how tall is this wall? Or this fence? Or
Pretty tall.
yeah. So
All right, through the chapel it is.
Okay, so back downstairs and toward the chapel.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to get there?
Not that long. I mean, you could be there in a minute if you really wanted to.
Okay.
Okay. So, how are we going about this?
Middle of the distance.
I look at them and I'm like, I can cast thorns again, and we can try and pull them out. So they have to walk through all the thorns.
I could cast my big AoE as well.
We can go see if they're still there.
Can probably do that first.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
we should have someone sneak in first to see if they're still there.
I'm sneaky, I'll do it.
Do I think he's actually sneaky?
make an intelligence check. Yeah, it's okay.
I'll let him sneak ahead.
All right. So, all right. Thank you for the stealth check. Let's see what we've got. Whatever might be in this room. Okay. So, the group makes its way back downstairs and through the still open double doors that lead to the old dining chamber. Lies directly behind the stairs from the perspective of the entryway. The double doors that lead out of there and into the chapel are still open. And as Ron pushes forward and tries to just peek in ever so quietly, he can see there are 3 figures kneeling in front of the altar at the far end of the chapel. And as Ron turns to go back and, well, either report his findings or maybe leap into action, the edge of his sleeve just barely catches the doorway, or the door, and it creaks ever so slightly, which is enough for the 3 figures at the far end of the room to immediately snap their heads to look in that direction, directly at Ron.
I look at him, go, hi, and I will cast Mirror Step, or Misty Step rather. And I will Misty Step back as far as away from them as I can.
Okay. So, get things set up for another round here.
All the battles?
Well, I mean, Laura's not here, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Try to get everybody situated in a way that kind of makes sense. Alright. So, as far as the rest of the group is concerned, Ron just appears in front of you, just outside the doors to the dining area. You had all been kind of congregated a room back, so right around that same area where he materialized.
So he materializes. Does he say that they're there?
If I have a chance, I can say, we got company. And I'm trying to run as fast as I can out of there.
Can I drop a spell and run?
Yeah, you can. Well, what's the plan?
I overlap my spell onto Yolen's.
I'm dropping that one and just placing it on the 3 creatures.
Okay. As of right now, they're not even that close yet.
They're not within a 40-foot cube? They're not. Wait, the range is 120 feet.
They're probably still in the chapel.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Do you need to see them? Of your choice. It doesn't say you need to see them. Okay. I would say that's feasible. Let me
Okay.
check and see if they're.
I want to drop the 40-foot cube, like right, I don't know, inside the door, so they'll enter it coming through the door, and then they'll come out into like the lobby area where we can attack them for the 40-foot cube.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell at people that I'm gonna slow them down in the lobby, so don't run out the doors.
All right. Cool. So you're able to make that happen, and yeah, you do hear the thumping of footfalls now coming from the back of the mansion. So,
And Melkar's overlapping his spell.
yep.
Whatever spell he's using.
What spell is he using?
Wait, can we see them yet?
Nope.
Oh, I'm gonna wait until we can see them.
Yeah, essentially, I'm kind of treating it as you're preparing to drop them as the situation is appropriate, kind of thing.
Okay.
I just don't need to see them.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't ever used this spell before. It's gonna be fun.
Wait, I can't do that. Never mind.
Oh, because you need material components.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can have a drop of molasses on me. Like, my material components are like things I'd probably just be carrying on me.
Yeah, I don't know that he just has a pickled octopus tentacle sitting around. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then is there anything else you'd like to have ready then?
Just my normal cantrip.
Okay. Cool. So you are kind of setting up an ambush then back in the main entryway, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there should be plenty of room for us to attack there.
Yeah. All right.
Just to make sure Ron doesn't run too far away. I just yell at him to stay in the lobby.
Okay.
Will do.
So as the creatures are making their way through the double doors, you can just barely begin to see them. And I imagine at that point you pop your slow, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Kind of just up here. That's time. Alright.
And you have already have the lobby made, so
Yeah, I mean, it's more a question of positioning things, so, you know, is what it is, but should be okay. Alright. Boom. Oh, no, that's a different one. Or is it? No, it's the same one. Okay. So, somehow Malkar ends up going first again. But for the sake of what you guys had planned out and how you
and
kind of
Dane's
coordinated
last again. Or at least last in our group.
it. All right. For the sake of like you guys actually having an ambush plan put together, I'll say Malkar gets to actually use his what we're going to use Eldritch Blast when they came through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Those damage rolls.
I mean, at least they both hit, right? Get your 4 points of damage in. Okay. So now at top of initiative, Malkar, what are you doing for your full turn?
Same thing.
All right. Okay. And again, I will assume, unless told otherwise, you're targeting the closest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that bottom left one.
Yep. Okay. So the first one hits. The second one seems to miss. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
One step.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Okay. All right. So then that'll bring us to Esmeralda, who she is kind of preparing to meet them. So she's going to move up, not quite into range to do anything just yet. That's it for her. Ron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna say, careful, Esmeralda, they hurt. And I'm going to take a step over here behind Malkar just to kind of put a little bit of meat between me and them. And I'm gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast a couple times on the same guy that Malkar's been blasting.
Okay. Hey, for reference, Ron and Yoan, what are your dex mods?
2.
3.
Okay, so it is okay then.
Yes, I have 16 dexterity.
I have 15.
We're going 14.
So.
Okay. I'll let the other two figure it out for themselves. Cool. Eldritch Blast. That is 2 hits. Let's see. Are you? Let's see what your sight line is on that.
I have Spell Sniper, so I should be able to hit.
Whoops. Never mind me just painting on top of.
Do you have a 12.1?
What?
He has 12.3, 12.2, and then 2 12s.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay.
This area lit up at all?
Dimly, but it's hard to do with dynamic lighting. I'm just doing this so you can have your sight lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Taylor, who can you actually see from your vantage point? That's
see
the real question.
bits and pieces of all 3.
Okay. Cool. So you're aiming for the closest?
Yeah, I'm aiming for the one that I'm aiming for this guy.
Okay. So both of those hit.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Could I have rolled that warrant? No, forget it. Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay, Yoan.
Feet of each other?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just cast this on the nearest one.
Okay. So then, is it the first one? Or, oh, wait. Yeah, I need to see the description for that.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Ground and 20 foot. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I copied the wrong one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Ice Knife's the exploding one, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Shard of Ice fleeing to one creature within range. Okay. Hit 1d10, which was your 4. Okay. Hit or miss, it explodes. Dex save, 4 2d6. Alright. Rolling some dice. Okay, so you do make contact with your first, like when you fling the ice. So it kind of digs into the first creature and subsequently explodes. And it seems like the two on the front line do take extra damage from the explosion. The other one seems to have dodged it. Okay. So then that's going to bring us to Rictavio, unless you've got something else you want to do. Do you want to move?
Well, let me draw something.
Okay.
I want to draw my 40-foot cube. So I
Okay.
want to start it here. That's 20. That's 40.
I mean, I can't see it, so there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, don't -2 AC as well.
They do.
Sweet.
So I'm going to move just into it because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, it's creatures of your choice.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. And that's it?
Yep.
All right. Okay, Rictavio is... Okay. He's going to advance to there. Kind of stand ready. All right. What do you want the animated armor to do, Austin?
Move up beside Esmeralda.
Okay. There? Or
Yep,
higher
right
up?
there. Right
Okay,
there
right
works.
there. Okay. And I guess that's it, because it's not really in range to do anything else. Okay. That's going to bring us to these creatures. So they have halved movement speed. That being the case, going to use their entire turns just to move their regular movement speed by dashing.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Rictavio's going down.
I mean, they used their turn.
Next turn, he's going down.
okay.
They all failed their wisdom saving throw.
They are not very wise, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Dane, what are you doing?
Alright, moving to there.
Okay. And that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
I can't do anything to him.
You can go in that box.
Yeah, you can go in the box
Oh.
if you want.
Okay. And up there. Okay. I'll move there.
Yeah, the box does not affect you.
Okay.
Cool. So then that brings us to Melkar once again.
Perks of level 3 spells.
Let's gonna move up. And I guess cast Eldritch Blast. What was the one I've been attacking?
The nearest one.
Yeah, that would be this one right here.
Okay. Attacking that one.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah, even with that lower AC, that first one's not going to connect, but the second one does.
Alright. That's the end of my turn.
Oh, okay. Brings us to Esmeralda, who is going to Alright, so first, she throws a hand axe that has been fastened by her side. And attempts to attack the same one that everyone else has been beating on. That, thanks to the lower AC, is going to hit. Okay. Right. Then she is going to charge up to the same one that she just attacked and take a stab with her rapier. 2 stabs with her rapier, as a matter of fact. And that's another 2 hits.
Is that one looking at me weak at all?
It certainly looks to have taken a good bit of damage. I would say at this point it's probably just reaching what you'd call bloodied.
Like thirds to half health?
Thereabouts. And I think that's going to do it for Esmeralda. Ron, what are you doing?
Alright, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, 5. And as soon as I hit that, I'm going to kind of start going slow and go, wait a second. I'm not actually affected by this. Never mind. And after I realize that, I'm going to go, oh shit, I went too far. And I'm going to go 6 for my movement and step back behind him.
Okay.
And same one here. I'm going to look at him and say, huh, you call yourself an undead thing. I fought skeletons harder than you, and I'm going to viciously mock it.
Okay. So then that is another wisdom save.
Yep.
Beating up on these guys with the wisdom. Okay. It makes it save.
Oh, shit.
I'd rather it make that save though than get out of my spell.
Yeah, but that gives it disadvantage in attack rolls. Alright, I'm going to look at Rictagia and say, good luck, you're going to need it. And I'm going to inspire him.
Okay. Duly noted.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. Yoan.
Which one looks bloodied?
That is the top left.
I'm gonna cast Ice Knife at it again.
Does it hurt other friendlies in the vicinity?
Oh, yeah. Gosh darn it. I'm going to cast... Oh, let's go. I'm going to cast... How far? Oh yeah, I can definitely cast this. I'm gonna cast Thorn Whip.
Okay. That 22 is definitely enough to hit.
Yep, and I will not pull it towards me.
You will not pull it towards you. Okay. Alright.
How far could it pull it? Is it 5 or 10?
10.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that sounds good.
Okay. That will bring us to Rictavio. Let's see. Okay. So he is going to mutter something under his breath, and you see a glow kind of envelop one of his hands, and he sort of presses it to his chest, and then stands his ground and makes a pair of attacks with his silvered sword cane. Hit, and he's going to use inspiration. That is 2 hits, and because he's good at things and has a particular set of skills, he gets to roll a little bit of extra damage.
Mm-hmm. He's a fucking boss.
Okay, so then roll more shit.
Drop like a sack of potatoes and
Alright, so let's see. Okay, so the creature that people have been really laying into starting to look pretty rough. Really, it looks like if somebody can do the amount of damage that Rictavio just did, this thing will be down. And that's it. He's standing his ground. So, alright. What do we have in the animated arm turn?
Right, move up beside Octavio and Esmeralda and hit it with its battle axe, the closest one.
Okay. So...
Sweet. New ally, first attack.
Okay. This. Alright. That's 2 attacks. Looks like it is going to miss with the first one, but then hit with the second. And let me get this here. Okay. So it doesn't drop the creature, but it's looking rougher by the minute. It's a pretty solid hit that the armor just got in. Alright. And I guess that's really it, because it doesn't really have much to it other than walk places and attack. So,
Yep.
Okay. Then these things get to go. From this vantage point, you can see that the the creature that's looking pretty torn up does seem to heal a bit on its turn. Not drastically, but you can see things starting to kind of stitch themselves back together.
It made it. You checked the spell. If the creature attempts to cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, roll d20.
Oh, that's not a spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Yep. No,
because there's a lot of components to that.
Yeah, there are. Okay. So, having just been slashed up by, well, really everybody, I think it's only fair to actually have him roll and see who he wants to attack. So, he is going to attack the armor. And so takes a long sword that he has kind of hanging at his waist, and 1 attack, which is a miss, or more like a clang off of the armor, not really damage. Second longsword attack, even worse, just kind of glances off. Can't seem to even make a dent in this thing. Alright, that's going to be it for the one that's been damaged. So then the other 2 are guess going to attempt to hit Tavio. So I'm going to roll a bunch of attacks, sort those out one at a time. 2 longswords from that. 2 longswords from that. So 2 misses right off the bat. And so you see the one that's on the kind of in the distant corner from the bulk of the party just whiffs twice as it attempts to cut Rotavio down. Then I need to make checks. All right. And then try as it might, the other one can't seem to bring itself to attack Rictavio. And so it wastes its attack action this turn. Each time you see the creature attempt to swing at him, you just see this similar glow to what he had sort of pressed into his chest, almost form a sort of bubble around him. Not repelling the blade, but stopping the thing from even attempting. Alright. So then that's going to end the creature's turn and bring us to Dane.
Alright. Move up to here.
Okay.
And hit the one closest to me twice, or
All
however
right.
many times with the greatsword.
Yeah, I think you can do 2.
Yep.
Okay. So that is 2 hits and quite a bit of damage. Not bad.
Oh. He can
Oh?
re-roll. He's a fighter. He rolled an @1 and won the damage die.
Ooh, okay. So yeah. Austin, go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, well,
I guess it doesn't matter.
yeah, worth a try.
Yeah.
I could have gotten a little bit extra damage out of that, but it's all good. Cool. I'm guessing you're standing your ground?
Yep.
Okay. Another thing that I probably should explain to Austin, because, not knowing, and you made a wise decision by not moving, which is why I bring it up. If you are in melee range with something that's attacking you or hostile toward you, and then you attempt to leave it, the hostile creature can make an attack of opportunity as you're leaving its zone, kind of leaving yourself vulnerable for a second.
Okay.
It can only do one of those per turn, burns a reaction, and a bunch of other mechanical stuff that we'll get into later. But yeah, no, good call not like attacking and then ducking back out, because you would have exposed yourself.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's the other thing you get on a, I guess, round is a reaction.
yeah. So if one of these
Okay.
things tries to turn around, you can probably take a free swing at it, assuming it's like adjacent to you on the map. Just something to bear in mind. All right. So Melkar, back to you.
I want to try and finish that one off.
Okay. Well, that hits. Probably more tickles than hurts, but it hits.
Who did I tickle?
Yeah. So yeah, you do a little tickle worth of damage to the hurting looking one.
Did I hurt a friendly with that second one?
No, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm gonna get a little closer.
Okay.
Maybe it'll help with my aim.
Fair enough. Okay. So then that brings us back to Esmeralda, who is going to stab with the rapier. Okay, that's a hit and a crit. For a good chunk of enough damage to drop the thing. So she stabs it once and then twice. The second one being through the knee as the thing collapses under its own weight. She reaches out and just pulls her hand axe out of the thing and throws it at the one that would have been behind the creature that she attacked. So, another attack, because she's crazy that way. Which is another hit. So now we're digging into this one. Okay. One down. Ron, what are you doing?
I'll say be careful. That thing will get back up, Esmeralda. And then I'm going to look at this one, and I'm going to say, and if it doesn't get back up, that's where you're going to go. And I'm going to viciously mock it.
Okay. Make a wisdom save. It does not make it save on that.
Alright. Takes 6 damage, but more importantly, has disadvantage on its next attack.
And it doesn't seem to take the full 6. But, still worth doing. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that'll be it.
Alright, Yoan.
Okay, I'm gonna attack this one so that I don't go through Rictavio. That one.
Okay.
With Thorn Whip.
Whiff.
Oh. Okay, well, that's my turn.
Okay. Brings us back to Rictavio, who's going to take another couple swings, this time at the one that Yoan had just targeted. Slash with the sword cane. Alright. So there's one hit in there. And not as fearsome as his last attack, but definitely does a fair bit of damage.
Oop. Ignore that. Sorry.
Okay. And that's going to do it for Tavio. Animated armor. Which one do you want to attack? Up or down? Austin?
If we can't hear you, log out at end the call in Discord and recall in.
Yeah, that too. Still can't hear you if you're saying anything.
Well, then I guess you have to restart the program.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, we hear you.
All right. So he moves up in front of me and attacks the one closest to me
Okay.
with his sword or axe, whichever one he had.
Yep. Cool. All right. Then we do attack. It's another 1-2 from this thing. 2 hits. Some more damage. Okay. Takes a couple pretty big chunks out of the thing.
All right.
Cool. This one is probably approaching bloodied or halfway down, but not quite there yet. Okay. So that brings us to the creatures who are going to, well, first of all, the one that just took a bunch of hits, heal up a little bit, just because it does that. And that was the other one. All right. clearly frustrated with the whole not being able to will itself to attack Rictavio thing. The other one's going to try and choose a different target. And that's going to be the armor. So, takes a pair of longsword swings at the animated armor. So as it attacks, it fumbles its sword entirely, and it goes clattering across the ground. That's what happens when you roll back-to-back crit fails.
At this point, I say, wow, we almost got our asses kicked by these guys. I swear they were harder last time.
Alright, no damage from that one this turn. So, go to the other one, who is going to respond to the woman that just threw the hand axe at him. Close on her. 2 longsword attacks. That's a little more reasonable. Okay. That is... Whew! Esmeralda takes a couple of really nasty looking hits.
Question.
But, yeah.
What were the attacks?
Ah, okay. Well, I will say this. I'll give them to you in order. First one is an 18.
All right. I will cutting words that.
Okay.
And where is my? Why am I not?
Don't even worry about it. That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just barely. So, okay.
Yeah. There.
Yep.
Just
All right.
For the
So.
sake of people who haven't seen it before.
So at the last minute, Ron kind of blurts out, I don't know, what are you saying?
I'm gonna just go. Just have like a coughing fit.
It seems to distract the thing just enough so Esmeralda is able to duck out of the way of the first sword swing. But
Right.
it quickly gathers itself and takes a second attack. This one definitely connecting.
Okay.
Okay. But you did actually manage to cut out the worst of the 2 hits, so good job on that.
Cool. That's what I'm here for.
Alright. And that's going to do it for those guys. So, Dane.
Yep, I attacked the one closest to me with the great sword. How many times can I? Twice?
Twice.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a miss and a hit.
He has inspiration. I inspired him. What did I inspire him? Oh, with the
Oh, you did.
spiders.
That's the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably been up.
Yeah, it's probably up, fortunately. Okay, but the second one does hit, so your bigger hit of the 2 actually does connect. And yeah, so the creature toward the bottom of the map is definitely bloodied at this point. Anything else from Dane?
Nope.
Okay, Malkar.
I'll attack the one on the bottom right as well.
Okay.
Pew-pew.
All right, 2 hits. Thump, thump against the kind of haphazardly still hanging on armor. Yeah, things showing some wear. Anything else? That's the end? Okay. Esmeralda, just looking down for just the briefest moment, seeing the big gash across her upper stomach area, just looks back up at the thing and just keeps attacking, stabbing away with her rapier. That is a miss. It's kind of just barely deflected, and then one solid hit that pokes through. And again, she's going to reach out and pull the hand axe that's still kind of lodged in the thing out, and then just jam it back in, or attempt to. And she does.
Ooh. She's turning it into some spaghetti meat.
All right. That's going to do it for Esmeralda. Ron.
All right. How hurt is she looking?
Since she only took the one, she's still looking like she's got a good bit of fight in her.
Okay.
I mean, for reference, she's probably... She and Dane are probably at about the same level.
Okay. I'm going to look at the one that's on her, and I'm going to get this devious smile on my face, and I'm going to cast this.
Okay. Other wisdoms. Your DC is what, 16?
Yes.
That's a 19.
Alright. It's worth a shot.
Okay. Let's see. You still do half damage, so...
Reading.
5 damage.
Okay. Okay. Duly noted.
I guess I will. I think this is I'm going to look over at Dane, and I'm going to say, "Hey, don't look so hurt, buddy." And I'm going to do this.
All right. So with that healing word, Dane, you get 8 HP back.
All right.
Cool. That's looking pretty good. All right. And is that it for Ron? No movement?
Yes, that will. For movement, and I'll go over on this side.
Okay. Yoan.
Do I know if my spell is still affecting those two?
You would probably have a pretty good idea that the things are still affected by the spell.
Okay. Wow, I didn't expect to get through this many rounds with making saving throws.
Yep.
Their wisdom must suck.
They've just been rolling really badly for these, and then really well on everything else.
I accept that. I am going to Thorn Whip this one. Because no one's in the way of it.
Okay. That's a hit. Strong 2.
Yeah, strong 2.
Not pulling it toward you, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright, Octavio. Sword cane twice toward the bloodied one. And that is a pair of whiffs. Not as bad as the one that lost its weapon, but whiffs nonetheless.
I'm just like punching now.
Maybe. Alright, animated armor.
All right. Swing the great sword at the one closest to him,
Yep. Okay.
or the battle axe.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. And suddenly no one on this side can make contact as there are as the great axe swings, or the battle axe swings down twice, not finding its mark.
Is he whispering to you? Or not rolling?
I'm rolling for the animated armor.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So then that will bring us to these creatures. Let's see. So, yeah, the one without a sword now is just going to start swinging its fists at. Let's see which one it decides to attack. The armor again. That's going to be 2.
It's a good thing you're proficient with Smith's tools.
I have to fix him.
Okay.
He's only been hit once, though, so.
Make that twice.
Okay, twice now.
And yeah, the fist of this thing seems to do a fair bit of damage to the armor, to the point where it's looking kind of shaky. It seems as though the magic that is keeping this thing held together is straining to keep it cohesive.
Great.
Oh no.
But it only hit once, so. Alright, and then that'll bring us to the one by Esmeralda, who at this point has flown into like a blind, angry, swinging state with the long sword, and that is a miss and a crit.
Can I cutting words it down from a crit?
You can certainly try.
Alright, I will use my last bit of bardic inspiration and say, hey, what's that behind you? Is that a spider? To the one attacking Esmeralda.
Okay. Give me your roll.
Alright.
Not gonna do it. So Esmeralda takes a pretty nasty looking hit. She is still standing though. Really, for the 2 bad hits she's sustained, she still looks to be in pretty good shape. So, clearly bloodied at this point. That'll do it for the other creature. Dane.
Alright. I hit the one closest to me with the great sword twice again.
Fighters. They do something and they do it well. Most of the time.
Usually.
That's enough to hit though, with the the lowered ACs and stuff. So, okay. Good. The one that Dane attacked is certainly looking pretty rough. Figure, I don't know, another 2 of those from Dane or something, and this one's probably done for. Okay. Melkar.
Try and finish it off. Nope. I did the exact same damage, but did not hit.
Okay.
You have to get punished for that.
All right.
That's the third
Dane,
one.
go ahead and make a dex save.
Who?
Dane.
Oh.
Well, that's good news.
Okay. Let me make a couple more because there's stuff happening here.
Wheaton cursed our game.
All right. So as Malkar fires his 2 Eldritch Blasts, both of which just sail right by the creature that he's aiming at, he actually takes out the pillar behind the creature, and you hear the loud rumbling as part of the balcony begins to fall down toward you. Seems to be about on track to land pretty much square in the middle of like right here. So, Dane takes the brunt of the damage.
Of course, a dwarf gets caged on.
Sorry.
Um,
Thanks.
let's see here. I mean, it's not goldfish bad, so could be worse.
No,
Um,
it's just ironic.
all right, Dane, you take 21 points of bludgeoning damage and are currently buried beneath rubble.
Okay.
Everyone else succeeded on their saves and were able to kind of get out of the way just in time. All right. Anything else from Melkar?
Gonna kind of whistle and walk over here.
Oh my god. Unintentionally evil Melkar.
I mean, his colors just shine through.
Mhm.
That's been my thing.
All right. So Esmeralda's just gonna keep at it despite the fucking building falling in all around her and shit. Okay, here we go. Rapier, and hand axe. So that is 3 hits. She is just chipping away at this thing in front of her. And that's going to be it for her. Ron.
Alright. So, is the one that she killed moving?
No?
Okay. Well, I'm going to look at that one again. I'm going to kind of step right over here. And I'm just going to cast Distant Whispers
Okay.
on it again.
That's an 8 on the save.
Alright. This is what we wanted here. Alright, so, first of all, that.
Okay.
And it has to run directly away from me as fast as it can, getting an opportunity attack from Esmeralda and Rictavio.
Okay.
Whew!
See.
That's what I wanted.
So, Esmeralda's
It's
going
gonna
to take
run
a...
really slowly.
Yeah.
It is.
Esmeralda's going to take a stab with the rapier, which does hit. And Sword Cane from Rictavio does not hit. Okay. And then why are you not moving? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Whew. And
Anything
I
else
will-
from Ron?
I will make my fingers into a gun and kind of blow on the tip. It's on my turn.
All right. Yoan.
Okay. So, this is Dane.
I did not see your ping. There you go.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, he has his label still. Can I like touch him through the rubble? Is he reachable?
You'd probably have to dig for him.
Can digging be a bonus action?
I'd say it's probably a full action.
Leave him.
I am gonna go
He's a dwarf. He's used
here
to being on his
and
own.
touch Esmeralda.
Okay.
And cure her
Alright.
fate.
Nice. Okay, yeah, she's looking better. Probably no longer considered bloody, for reference. And that's it for Yoan?
Yep.
Alright, then Rictavio.
Unless I can help throw a couple rocks off Dane.
I mean, like, bonus action, maybe you can, like, kick a couple off the top. But
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so then Rictavio is going to do his best to deal with the most imminent threat, which is the creature that he'll face up on. Slash with the sword cane. That's a hit and a miss. Okay. More damage because he's Rictavio. Okay.
He has the thing still, right? The pendant or whatever it is.
The holy symbol?
Yeah, that.
He does.
Cool.
But, yeah, okay. So then that's going to do it for him. That brings us to the animated armor.
Am I able to command it?
Yeah?
Okay. And tries to save me. Get the stuff off me.
Okay. Alright, so the thing stops swinging its axe at the...
Hasn't done anything with that anyways, so.
Yeah, and so I'm going to call that an athletics check, part of the armor. It starts moving stuff. It's not being particularly effective at that either at the moment. It's rolled an 8.
That's useful. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So let's see. The closest creature then is going to try its luck once again, attacking Rictavio. That is okay, so it actually does manage to kind of force through the repelling effect once and make a longsword attack, which it promptly whiffs on. Or no, that's a fist attack, because it doesn't even have a sword anymore. So let me roll a fist attack. Nope. Nope. Okay, that's a big whiff.
It punch itself in the face.
Alright, and then that brings us back to other one. Let's see. Can you put up your slow effect one more time?
Yeah.
Paste that in there so I don't have to go sifting through. Okay. Yeah.
Does it finally end the effect on it?
It does not, but it's gonna slowly run back and take a swing on. Who did it? Yeah, probably still Esmeralda. And that's a crit. Esmeralda takes another massive hit.
Dang it, I just healed her.
She's still standing. Not looking great, but still standing. And that's it for those guys. So that brings us to Dane, who is currently buried under a bunch of fallen balcony rubble.
Alright. I'll try to get the stuff off me.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check. So that's going to be under your skills. So you and the armor are
Equally good at that.
yeah. Maybe someday you will once again see daylight.
The
Not
dwarf
yet.
likes being underground.
Yep, he's good there.
There you go. All right. Well, I guess that's it for Dane. for now. Melkar, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and attack the one on the top that's been hitting Esmeralda.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, I won!
All right. Yeah, that did some damage. Cool. Anything else? Movement or what have you?
Yeah. Come up. Just in case.
Okay. Cool. So then that's going to be Esmeralda, who has a decision to make. Because she is getting into some dangerous territory.
You shall not pass.
Oh, here's what Esmeralda does. She mutters something under her breath and promptly disappears. Ron, what are you doing?
I was like starting to reach to heal her, and she poofed. So, I guess instead I'm going to look at this one, and I'm also going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Okay. All right. That's a 10.
Alright. So that's that damage, and it has to run away from me, and all of the opportunity attacks.
All of the opportunity attacks. Yeah. Well, at least 2 opportunity attacks. One of the potential attackers is buried.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So then, Rictavio with the sword cane hits, tickles kind of. The armor going to attack and whiff. And then this thing 2, 3 to run. All right. Anything else?
After that, I'm going to come 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And I will end my turn there.
Cool. Yoan.
Okay. With their progress, can I unbury him with, at least so I can reach him with a bonus action?
Make an athletics check. It's probably going to be a little higher DC because you're trying to do this quickly.
It's above 10.
Still not good enough.
Okay. Well, can I just unbury him?
Make another athletics check. Yes. Yes, you can. And you spend the next couple seconds just pulling the large chunks of rubble off of Dane. And yeah, Dane, you can see light again.
Yay.
All right. Any movement from Yoan, or is that it?
That's it.
All right. So Tavio going to turn his attention to the one that hasn't run away. Slash and slash, hit and hit, which means loads of extra Rictavio damage.
Really badass
Holy
over here.
shit. Okay. Okay. The creature that is still squared up with Rictavio is damn near down. Okay. Animated armor.
He's about out of health, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can just stay there or do nothing?
Yeah, or you could risk it and send him in to fight. It's your call.
Yeah, why not? I'll move him up to the behind the one by Rotavio.
Okay. So there?
Yep, and then he can take a couple swings.
Okay. And thank God for that lowered armor class. At least you get one hit in there.
Good.
Okay. So it does not a whole lot of damage, but it's damage. The thing is still standing, but looking very, very rough. And that will bring us to the creatures. Alright. So, alright. The one that's now kind of hemmed in is going to retaliate against Tavio. It's one hit and one miss. Tavio takes a solid hit. And then the other one, kind of coming to its senses after having just been scared away, is going to run up and try and take a couple attacks, or well, one attack, I should say, on the armor. Miss. Okay. That's it for those guys. Dane.
Alright. Move up to there and then take 2 hits at the one by Rotavio.
Okay.
By the way, standing up when you're prone takes half your movement.
Okay.
Yep. Still fine though. You're still close enough.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
Hey.
All right.
He got pissed after getting run down by that.
You see this seething, angry dwarf running. Ah!
A dwarf with a great sword is just about as good as a goblin with a battle axe.
And he plants that great sword right in the skull of this creature, and it slumps to the ground, not moving.
Nice.
Do you have the ability as a fighter where you crit on nat 19s as well?
Yeah.
That was a double crit then.
Double crit. Yeah. Okay.
Did he kill it on the first one so he could attack the second one, the next attack?
Not quite.
Oh.
Aw.
You chopped the head entirely in half, though.
Gallagher watermelon style, you know?
Y'all.
Okay. Cool.
That's it.
Alright. Melkar,
Try and finish off the other one.
do it. That's a couple hits. Okay. Not down yet.
Then I move into the same space as, what's her face?
You try to, and you notice there's something there.
I don't have anything I can heal her with. I can scooch around it.
Okay.
I ain't good enough. They're there.
Okay. All right. So. All right. As the last creature is bearing down on the suit of armor, attempting to dismantle it, all of a sudden you just see 2 holes poke out of the front of its chest, followed by a massive gash right down the top of its head as it slumps down dead and Esmeralda materializes behind it.
I kills Eldritch Blast on him just because. Because I want to say Ron wants the last hit. So just before it hits the ground, I'm just.
All right. And yeah, that takes us out of initiative.
Holy shit, we didn't turn into a sack of potatoes like last time.
They had 2 attacks, right? Normally.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's... I know what you're referring to in the slow spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are reasons.
There are reasons what.
Normally, if you with the slow spell, you can only take 1 attack, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are reasons.
There are reasons what. I'm
They
confused.
occasionally took a couple attacks.
Oh, okay. I mean, but normally, like, we would have been in a lot worse shape if
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
that slow spell. Did they ever break it? Did any of them ever get out of it?
Nope.
That is the best spell I've ever cast in my life.
The
Negative.
vampire one was not bad either, though.
Yeah.
They ran through all the thorns on the ground.
Mm-hmm. We kind of employed the same method we used here, except I just used people's reactions.
Same method we used here. Having a plan.
I mean, like, they would have done twice as much damage without that spell.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna heal Dane.
He just had a balcony fall on him. Come on.
Sorry about that.
I am out of using
There,
spells.
take 10 for hit points.
I want to search the thralls.
Going to finish off.
Can we take a short rest in here?
What did you say you're finishing off?
I was kidding when I said I'm just gonna finish off Dane.
And that finger of death.
All that damage roll.
That damage roll was ridiculous.
Alright. So yeah, on the fallen creatures, you find, well, obviously 2 long swords and 1 not too far away. Some kind of worn, tattered scraps of armor here and there. That's really about it.
Off to the chapel, and then that way.
Can I Arcana check them to see if I know the magic that animated them?
Sure, give it a shot.
Yes.
Alright, you know that this isn't necessarily the result of a spell, so much as raw, unbridled anger and searching for vengeance. These creatures, revenants, are driven by a need to avenge some past wrongdoing. Most often their own murder, but there have been causes of revenant presence that weren't necessarily related to their own demise.
And they attack indiscriminately?
That part you haven't really heard a whole lot about. Well, let me clarify that. That seems out of the ordinary for Rev.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will share this with the group. And yeah, let's go into the chapel.
All right, and I guess that's where we'll pick it up next week because we've already run over by a good bit.
Yeah. Only by an hour.
Keep going.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Level up.